Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Eric, the Arizona Bladesman here, doing this response video from Donnie B all day or DBAD. Yesterday I was watching the video and it was pretty much about what kind of like large fixed blade or buoy you would use for, to defend your home, your family, stuff like that. And it was pretty much a video done for someone who had asked them that question about what would you use. Let's say you don't like having guns in the house. Maybe you have strict gun laws. Right around that. So anyway, I let them know that I was gonna do a video about it, showing some of my large fixed blades and everything. And I pretty much have them right here. So we're gonna get right down to it. But before I do that, it's just like, what crazy times we're living in right now. I mean, this thing is just, this COVID-19 is just, just really taking off. But, not really taking off, but it's really taking its toll. But what I really think is that it's the media that's just blowing things out of proportions. I mean, I remember 2 weeks ago, and I work in retail full time. So, I mean, I'm around this crap, 8-9 hours a day. And I remember 2 weeks ago, man, you couldn't hardly get anything. I mean, no canned goods, forget about hand sanitizer, forget about toilet paper. All that stuff was just wiped. But now it's kind of, just simmering down a little bit. And the reason why I think that is because, A, people are running out of room to store the stuff because they're hoarding it. And B, they're almost out of money. They're maxing out their credit cards for what? Hand sanitizer, toilet paper, and canned goods. But anyway, it's just, it's just dark days that we're having right now. And, it's like that saying, it's only going to get worse before it gets better. But anyway, on that note, so let's just get right down into the video. And it's not going to be as long as DBADs because, I can only still do, 15-minute videos. But anyway, let's just, like I said before, get right into it. First up is this bad boy right here. This is the Ankun Barong from Chris Cutlery. Now, I haven't done a complete review on this, but this is one of my choices. And the reason why is that even though it is a sword, it's a short sword, this is actually about the size of some large buoys. Now, if you look at that spine, it is thick. I mean, as small as this has got a little bit of heft, so you can, it's got that weight, so you could deliver that power stroke. You could hack with it, you could thrust, and since it is a shortened sword, you can use it in small, tight spaces. Let's say like a bedroom, or a hallway. And just yesterday, after I watched DBAD's video about this subject, I actually took this out and did some strikes with it because I do study Filipino martial arts. So I was doing the 5 strikes down the hallway, and it works pretty well. You can strike with it, you can block, you can thrust. Very, very good blade. And it is not overly heavy, it's not overly large, and it's got some heft, which will equal some really good power hits. Now, the only drawback to this beast right here would actually be the scabbard. And it is a complete wooden scabbard, real pretty, nice color, but it doesn't have, a belt loop or anything like that. And it is it does make the barong a little bulky. But I believe that could actually be remedied, just, making a regular scabbard maybe out of, thinner wood, or maybe if you got some leather, just put something together. So, without further ado, this one right here would get my approval for, a blade for home defense. Now, looking at another large-scale blade, this is, pretty much a classic one. Everybody knows what this is. This is a kukri from Nepal Kukri House. It's another kukri house in Nepal. It's not KHHI or ex-Gurkha Kukri House. This is this is just another kukri company. But, now this would be like another choice too. And this one I've done a review on or a demonstration with, because a couple years ago there was pretty much like a crack right here in the handle. And what I did is I filled it up with some epoxy putty, sanded it down a little, painted over it, and then I did a video taking it out back and hacking into a old mesquite branch, and it held up pretty well. So with that being said, I think this would also function very well for a home defense blade, because it's a little, it's about as small as the barong. It's got the heft for, delivering some powerful blows, and you can thrust with it. So that being said, I think that this would be, acceptable as a blade for home defense. And when you're carrying it, it's got these belt loops right here. So as you're carrying it, it's not going to be too bulky, easy access, or you can carry it on the same side. But anyway, this right here, what I call my Desert Warrior or Desert Defender, would actually get an approval. Now, we're going to go on to some like medium-size fixed blades that I have. I don't have as much as DBAD, but I'm just going to, like I said, I can't make this video too long, so I just have a few, and this is just what I'm going to show you. Now, this one right here, this little guy, I didn't purchase it, but what I did is I actually put this together myself. The handle right here is actually the shape of a dragon, and I got this handle here from Chris Cutlery. They do sell them to where you can actually make a pommel or a handle for a knife. And this knife blade I had is just something that was sitting around in the toolbox. I kind of took it out, gave it a better edge, or cleaned it up, and just took some JB Weld, and I actually had to shorten the tang a little bit, so it's right here, so it fits down a little bit, better, and this is the end result. I mean, it's a really good knife blade. It's got a nice, there we go, you can see it. It's got a nice little diamond cross section, and it is sharp. But this right here, I wouldn't really use it for a home defense tool. You can, and the grip is comfortable, but it's just because I feel that the handle is maybe just a bit too short in the hand, and plus when I had to shorten the tang, I only shortened it to about right there. So you can use this, but there might be some structural integrity issues, and plus it's just, people have different size hands. I got about medium-sized hands, so I could grip it, but other people will probably have larger hands, or they might be wearing gloves. So this right here, this would be like in the nay pile. So now, going on to another one would be, everyone's seen videos and did reviews on it. This is the Cold Steel GI Tanto. It's got, what is that? I forgot what kind of steel. Was it 1095 1095 steel, and it's got this craton or this polypropylene handle. And I would have to say that I would actually use this. as a home defense tool. I mean, it's got some nice weight to it. You can, you know, slash and chop, and it will actually work pretty well in tight spaces, and like I said, bedrooms, hallways, um, you know, areas like that. Now the sheath is this, I believe it's Kydex. You know, it's got the holes to where you can, you know, tie it to a pack, or you know, you could tie it to your leg. And it's got this one retaining strap, which is good because that's another thing with using blades and for home defense is how fast you can deploy them. So if you have too many, you know, retaining straps, not a good thing. On account of because you waste more time trying to undo these things to get to your knife when you got somebody running up on you with an axe or whatever, a knife or whatever, you know, whatever they choose to, you know, cause you harm. But anyway, like I said, this one right here would be a really good knife for home defense. And looking back at the retaining strap, if I could get this, having a little trouble, there we are. See, you can undo it right here, get to your knife, and also you really don't even need the retaining strap. It has really good retention, and when you're carrying it on your belt, it's not too big, it's not going to flop around. Really good knife, so this one gets, you know, kind of my seal of approval. And another one, you've all seen my review on this one. This is the boot buoy from Windlass Steelcrafts. This is actually one of my most popular videos that's actually gotten the most views on it. And I tell you what though, it's a pretty stout little knife, and it is a fighting knife. But I would have to say no on this one. It would actually be a really good like last ditch effort type blade. You know, maybe carry it out somewhere else. But as as your main defense tool, I wouldn't use it because of the size and the weight. And also, what else is a really another drawback is this sheath. You know, it's just a plain leather sheath that doesn't have any, doesn't have a belt loop or any kind of strap to where you can actually put it onto your belt. So even though this is a fighting knife, I wouldn't. This would actually go to the nay pile. Now, on to another one. I had just gotten this, and you guys have seen this in my last video. This is the Hibben boot knife, and I'll tell you right now, I have been carrying this thing around for about a week or so, and just to let you know, this would actually get my seal approval right off the bat. You know, it is a good fighting knife. The weight's down here. A lot of the weight is down at the handle, so it will actually function very well as a home defense tool. You could cut with it, you could thrust, and so that's that on this one.
Dad, what are you doing?
I'm doing a video right now, honey.
Ah.
Can you go play? I'll be out there, okay?
Okay.
All right.
What's your one?
Oh, please go. And these right here that I have the Ontario combat knife, which is essentially kind of like their version of the USMC K-bar. And they essentially pretty much, took the idea of the K-bar and made it into this. The only drawback on this one is, it's got the round handle. Here, can you back up, sweetie? And, it's got the, I don't know what kind of steel it is, but I know it is a carbon steel. So, would this function as a home defense tool? I could see that. I mean, and also too, I forgot to mention that, price actually pays a big part in it. So if you're on a budget and everything, and you only got maybe like $50 to spend on a blade, this right here I actually got from Walmart for about $40-50. So this would actually function very well. And I'm sorry I forgot to include the prices on the other one. So I may have to do another video. I'm about to go over my time. But anyway, guys, take care, stay safe, and until next time.